Imagine this. It's Christmas Eve in a quiet mountain town, snow falling thick outside your window, and your phone lights up with a message from a number you haven't seen in years. They lied to you, all of them. Check the attic when no one's watching. No sender name, just those words burning into your screen. My name is Harper Ellis. I grew up in Crestwood Hollow, Vermont, a tiny place tucked against the Green Mountains where everyone knows your business but pretends they don't. For almost 4 years, my family told the same polished story about my grandmother, Evelyn. She'd moved to a luxury assisted living community in Florida after a mild stroke, enjoying sun, bingo, and ocean views in her golden years. Postcards came regularly, palm trees, beaches, her handwriting saying she was thriving. I believed it, why wouldn't I? My parents, Victor and Laura Ellis, ran the family hardware store in town. They were pillars, church deacons, volunteer coordinators, always smiling for the camera. My older sister, Brooke, still lived at home helping with the business, engaged to the town's golden boy. I was the one who'd left for college in Burlington, then stayed for a graphic design job. The city girl who called home less often. But that anonymous text changed everything. I drove back to Crestwood Hollow the next day, heart hammering like it knew something I didn't yet. The old Victorian house on Maple Street looked the same. White clapboard, wraparound porch dusted with snow. Christmas lights twinkling like nothing was wrong. Mom greeted me at the door with her usual hug, too tight, too long. "Harper, honey, what a surprise!" Dad waved from the living room, fake log fire crackling on TV. Brooke barely looked up from her phone. "Hey, sis." Dinner was tense under the surface. Turkey leftovers, small talk about the store's holiday sales. Then Mom casually mentioned Grandma again. "Evelyn called yesterday. She's loving the new shuffleboard court." I forced a smile. "Can I see the latest postcard?" Silence for a beat too long. Dad cleared his throat. "We recycle them, sweetheart. No point cluttering." That night, while they slept, I crept to the attic. The stairs creaked like accusations. Under a tarp in the corner, behind boxes of old holiday decorations, was a locked metal box I'd never seen before. The key? Taped under Grandma's old sewing machine, our secret hiding spot from when I was 10, and she'd let me borrow quarters for the ice cream truck. Inside the box, a USB drive, a stack of printed emails, and a single photo. Grandma Evelyn, thin, pale, in what looked like a hospital gown, sitting in a bare room with bars on the window. A newspaper in her lap dated just 3 months ago. On the back, in shaky but unmistakable handwriting, "They took the house. Help me, before they take more." My knees buckled. Florida? She wasn't in Florida. She was somewhere cold, locked away. Before I tell you what was on that USB, drop in the comments right now, where are you watching this from and what time is it where you are? Because if a message like that hit your phone on a quiet night, when would you dare plug in that drive and face what your own blood had done? The photo hit like ice water, but the USB? That was the blade. I waited until dawn, drove to the edge of town, parked at the old mill overlook where signal was weak but private. Laptop open, USB in. First file? An audio recording dated 18 months back. Grandma's voice, weak but sharp. "I told the caseworker again today. The stroke was minor. They exaggerated it. Victor said it was for my safety, but I heard them talking. The property deed. They want to sell the back 40 acres to developers. I refused. Then the fall happened." A pause, breathing labored. It wasn't a fall. Laura pushed. I remember her hands. The file cut to a doctor's note. "Patient exhibits paranoid delusions consistent with vascular dementia." Next file? 3 months later. Grandma, clearer now. "They moved me to this place in upstate New York, not Florida. No sun, no visitors allowed. They say it's temporary, but I signed nothing." Her voice dropped. "The will, Evelyn's will, leaves the land trust to Harper and Brooke. Victor and Laura get life use only if I stay competent. If I'm declared incompetent, they control everything." More files followed. Snippets from phone calls she'd secretly recorded, muffled arguments through thin walls. Dad's voice. The appraisal came in at 1.2 million. Developer wants it yesterday. Mom. As long as Mom stays quiet up there, we're fine. The doctors will keep her medicated. Grandma whispering to herself after. Harper will find out. She has to. Guilt slammed me. I'd accepted the postcards. I'd sent birthday cards to a P.O. box in Miami that probably never reached her. Growing up in Crestwood Hollow, Grandma Evelyn was my anchor. She taught me to read maps by starlight on camping trips, how to spot deer tracks after fresh snow, how the Green Mountains held secrets in their folds. The house was hers, built by her father after the war, expanded with lumber money. She and Grandpa, gone 20 years, put the back acres in a conservation trust decades ago, but the main parcel, the house, barn, meadow, was willed with strings. Protect it for the grandkids. No selling without unanimous vote. After Grandpa died, Grandma stayed sharp, managing everything. Then the stroke. I remembered the call. Dad's voice calm. She's stable, we're handling transport to specialists. I was in finals, I trusted them. Now, listening to her real voice, pleading in fragments, rage replaced the guilt. She hadn't been healing in the sun, she'd been silenced for profit. The emails in the box were worse. Forged medical reports, emails between Dad and a consultant in Albany about guardianship fees, facility kickbacks. One chain, Mom to Dad, Harper's asking too many questions, send another postcard, make it cheerful. Attached, a template with Grandma's signature forged. The anonymous text sender? I traced the number later, a burner but area code local. Someone knew, someone risked everything to get that box to the attic. Back home that afternoon, I played normal. Mom baked cookies, Dad talked expansion plans for the store. Brooke showed off her engagement ring. Then Mom said it casually over coffee. Harper, you remember Grandma's old desk in the study? All those papers she kept locked? Ever wonder what was in there? Her eyes flicked to Dad, testing. I shrugged. Old recipes, probably. Brooke laughed. You're always so suspicious, Harp. Grandma's happy, let it go. But Dad's jaw tightened. They were probing. They knew something had shifted. That night, another text. Don't confront yet. Get proof first. The trust papers are real. Use them. I replied, Who are you? No answer. Sleep didn't come. I researched Vermont guardianship laws instead. RSA Chapter 464A, conservatorship can be challenged if fraud or undue influence proven. Out-of-state facilities had to register assets locally if contested. The trust Grandma mentioned, I'd seen references in old family files. Irrevocable now, naming me and Brooke successors. Parents only trustees if she was incapacitated legitimately. If fraud, voidable. Next morning, I drove to the county clerk's office in Montpelier. Public records. Guardianship filed in New York 2 years ago. Irreversible cognitive decline. No mention of Vermont assets. But the facility? A for-profit chain with complaints. Over-medication, visitor restrictions, high fees. I photographed everything. Then the bank. Grandma had added me to a safe deposit box years ago, just in case. Teller remembered me. Inside, original trust documents, Grandma's handwritten codicil dated before the stroke. If any family member attempts to sell or encumber the property against my wishes, the trust reverts fully to Harper Ellis. A letter tucked inside, dated weeks before hospitalization. Harper, my girl, if you're reading this, something's wrong. Victor's in debt again, gambling online. Laura covers for him. They eye the land. I've hidden the proof. Fight for it. The mountains taught us. Roots don't break easy. Tears blurred the ink. Grandma had seen it coming. She'd prepared. I copied everything digitally, returned the originals. Driving back, phone rang. Mom. Come for dinner tonight. Family meeting. Important. Voice too sweet. I agreed. Trap or opportunity? The house glowed warm against the snow when I arrived, lights on every floor, Dad grilling indoors, Brooke setting the table. Conversation light at first, store profits, wedding plans. Then Dad leaned in. Harper, we've been thinking. Grandma's facility needs more funds. We're considering selling part of the back meadow, developers offering good money for her care. Mom nodded. She'd want it. I met their eyes. Grandma refused that years ago. Trust says no. Silence dropped like lead. Brooke frowned. What trust? Dad forced a laugh. Old paperwork, outdated. But his hand shook on the fork. I pushed. I saw the guardianship papers. New York facility, not Florida. Mom's smile froze. Harper, you're confused. Stress from the city. Dad, we did what's best. I stood. Best for who? The land or your debts? Brooke's eyes widened. What debts? Dad snapped. Enough. I left without dessert. Their stares burned my back. In my car, another text. Good. Now they know you're awake. Next, find the witness. Who? The sender finally replied, one word. Nurse. Heart racing, I knew what came next. Dig deeper, find her, expose them. Because Grandma wasn't gone, she was waiting, and the mountains, they always remember. The drive back from that tense dinner felt longer than the distance. Snow swirled in the headlights like warnings I couldn't ignore. My phone stayed silent, no more texts from the mystery sender. But the words, find the witness, echoed. Nurse. Someone inside that upstate New York facility had seen too much, heard too much. Grandma's voice on those recordings wasn't just pleading, it was evidence. And evidence like that doesn't stay buried forever. I started digging that same night, laptop glowing in my dark apartment above the hardware store's back entrance. Ironic, sleeping over the family business that might soon be funding lawyers against them. I searched facility reviews, employee forums, whistleblower threads. Nothing direct at first. Then, buried in a Reddit thread about elder care abuse, a username, Quiet Shift 92. Posts from 2 years ago mentioning Albany Pines Care Center, the exact place. Complaints about heavy sedation on problem patients, restricted family access, doctors signing off on guardianship extensions without full exams. One comment, I quit after seeing what they did to an old lady from Vermont. Family lied about her condition, broke my heart. No name, but the timeline matched. I messaged the account through a throwaway. If this is about Evelyn Ellis, I need to talk, granddaughter. No reply for 3 days. Then, late one night, coffee shop on Route 7, exit 12, tomorrow 10 a.m. Come alone, no recording devices visible. My pulse spiked. Trap? Maybe. But Grandma's letter burned in my mind. Fight for it. The diner smelled of burnt coffee and grease. A woman in her late 40s sat in the back booth. Short bark hair, tired eyes, nursing scrubs under a winter coat. She looked up as I approached. Harper? Voice low. I nodded, slid in opposite. I'm Jenna. I worked nights there for 3 years. She pushed a small envelope across the table. I copied what I could before I left. Medication logs, shift notes, visitor denials. Your grandmother, she was lucid more often than they reported. Asked for you by name every week. They upped her doses when she got insistent. Inside, printouts showing Grandma's cognition scores improving steadily over months, yet reports filed saying stable decline. Sedatives tapered only after a state inspection scare. Emails forwarded from an internal chain, Dad to the facility director. Appreciate the discretion on Evelyn's status, payment wired as agreed. Kickbacks, clear as day. Jenna whispered, I recorded a few sessions when no one was around, one-party consent in New York for audio if you're part of the conversation, but I never spoke, just listened. She handed me another USB. Her voice is on there, clearer toward the end. She knew they were selling the land behind her back. I thanked her, voice thick. Why risk this now? Jenna looked out the window at passing trucks. Because I have a mother the same age. If someone did this to her, I'd want to know. And your grandmother, she never stopped fighting, said her granddaughter would come. Tears stung. I left with the envelope burning a hole in my coat. Back home, I listened alone. Grandma's voice, stronger than before. Victor thinks the trust is broken if I'm incompetent, but Margaret, my mother, said it ironclad. Harper knows the code, the old maple in the meadow. Roots mark the spot. A soft laugh almost. They think I'm confused, but I remember everything. Tell Harper the mountains don't forget. The file ended with footsteps, someone entering, her voice dropping to a whisper. Don't let them win. That night, another anonymous text. You have enough now, but watch your back, they're moving fast. Minutes later, my phone rang, unknown number. I answered. Dad's voice, calm but edged. Harper, we need to talk. Come to the house, now. I didn't. Instead, I forwarded everything to a lawyer Grandma had trusted years ago, attorney Miriam Hale in Burlington. She'd handled the original trust. I emailed scans at 2 a.m., guardianship docs, forged postcards, Jenna's files, recordings. Subject, urgent, fraudulent conservatorship of Evelyn Ellis. Miriam called at 7 a.m. Harper, this is explosive. We can file to terminate the New York guardianship today, transfer jurisdiction to Vermont under the Uniform Act. Fraud evidence is strong. We'll also petition for emergency protective order against your parents if threats continue. She paused. You ready for what comes next? This tears families apart. I swallowed. They tore it first. The next week blurred. Fort filings flew. My parents received notice, emergency hearing in Vermont Superior Court to challenge the out-of-state conservatorship. They countered with their own motion, temporary guardianship over me, claiming delusional fixation on family matters, endangering inheritance. Classic deflection. They painted me unstable, isolated, obsessed. Brooke signed an affidavit supporting them. My own sister. The hearing day arrived cold and gray. Courthouse in Montpelier smelled of old paper and coffee. I walked in with Miriam, folders heavy. Across the aisle, Dad in a suit, Mom composed, Brooke avoiding my eyes. Their lawyer, Slick from Albany, argued first. Ms. Ellis is exhibiting paranoia, no direct proof of abuse, recordings questionable chain of custody. Miriam rose. Your Honor, we have medical logs showing improvement suppressed, financial trails of kickbacks, audio from the facility itself. She played excerpts. Grandma's voice filled the room, clear, angry, naming dates of arguments, the stroke that wasn't. Then Jenna took the stand as witness, sworn in, voice steady. I saw Mrs. Ellis regularly. She was over-medicated when assertive. Family visits denied after she mentioned land sales. I documented it. Cross-examination tried to discredit her, disgruntled ex-employee, but her logs matched official records. Dad testified next. We acted in Mother's best interest. The facility is top-rated. But his hands shook. Mom added tears. Harper's always been dramatic. Brooke stayed silent, eyes down. Then the judge allowed remote testimony. A screen flickered. Grandma Evelyn appeared from the facility conference room. Thinner, hair white, but eyes sharp. Aide beside her. Judge, Ms. Ellis, do you understand these proceedings? She nodded slowly. Yes, and I want to come home. Voice cracked but firm. They lied about Florida, lied about my health. Victor wanted the land sold. I said no. Then the push at the top of the stairs. I remember Laura's hands. Gasps. Mom whispered furiously to her lawyer. Dad went pale. Miriam played one last clip, secret phone recording Jenna captured weeks ago. Dad's voice in the background, visiting. Sign the quitclaim, Mom. It's for the family. Grandma, no. Harper will fight. Door slam. The judge's gavel fell like thunder. Sufficient evidence of fraud and exploitation. New York conservatorship terminated. Jurisdiction transferred. Evelyn Ellis discharged immediately to Vermont. Petition against Harper Ellis dismissed. Matter referred to State Attorney General for investigation. Financial abuse, elder endangerment, possible assault. She looked at my parents. You will cooperate fully. Chaos. Mom protesting, Dad stunned. Brooke stood, tears streaming, and walked out without a word. I crossed to the screen. Grandma smiled through tears. My girl. I whispered, I'm coming to get you. Transport arranged same day. I drove to Albany Pines with Miriam and a sheriff escort. Grandma waited in the lobby, coat on, small suitcase. She hugged me so tight I felt her heartbeat. The mountains, she said, I can smell them already. 1 year later, the Victorian on Maple Street is quiet again. Not the same quiet, warmer. Grandma's room overlooks the meadow, windows open to pine scent even in winter. At 84, she walks with a cane some days, but therapy helped. Mornings we sit on the porch with tea, watching deer tracks in fresh snow. She tells stories, Grandpa's logging days, the trust she fought to protect, how she hid papers in the old maple's root hollow when debts loomed. The trial came and went. Victor and Laura convicted. Elder financial exploitation, conspiracy to defraud, falsified records. Sentences, 8 years each, consecutive on multiple counts. Assets frozen, house sold to cover restitution and facility overcharges. No parole for at least 5. Protective order permanent. No contact. Brooke, that hurt deepest. After the hearing, she vanished for months. Then one day a letter arrived, no return address. I was wrong, blind. I'm sorry doesn't cover it. I'm starting over out west, sending what I can each month for Grandma's care. Checks come regular now, small, steady. No calls, no visits, just money and silence. I bank it for her therapies, a new wheelchair ramp, trips to the Green Mountains trails she loves. Forgiveness? Not yet. Maybe never, but the door isn't locked forever. Jenna got a new job in elder advocacy. The anonymous texter? Never revealed. Maybe a former employee, maybe a neighbor who'd overheard too much. Whoever it was, they gave me the push. Grandma and I rebuilt slowly. Evenings, she gardens in raised beds, tomatoes like she used to plant with me as a kid. Nights are harder sometimes. She wakes calling Grandpa's name. I sit with her, remind her he's waiting in the pines. She nods, squeezes my hand. Roots hold. The land stays protected, trust untouched. Developers long gone. Crestwood Hollow whispers about us still. Some pity, some respect, but we don't care. We have the mountains, the meadow, each other. Looking back, the cost was brutal. Family shredded, trust shattered like ice on glass. But truth demanded it. Cutting poison branches lets the tree breathe. Some ties aren't meant to mend, they're meant to teach you what family really means. So if you're watching this right now, if someone you loved vanished behind perfect postcards and polished excuses, trust that knot in your butt. Question, dig, fight, because roots endure when you let the dead weight fall. If this story hit you, drop a like if you're team truth over lies. Comment below. Have you ever uncovered a family secret that changed everything? And subscribe. Next week, another story where justice finally catches up. Turn on notifications. You won't want to miss it. Thank you for being here. Stay safe out there.